So just to give you some background information, Snowflake is a multi-user collaborative touchscreen software. The software is compatible with any interactive whiteboard, projector, and touchscreen. The software has been developed for over 9 years and is used by schools and companies in over 70 countries around the world. So the software is typically used by teachers and children in the age category between 4 and 12 years old. And with MultiTeach, you can really leverage, like I said, the multi-user collaborative touchscreen interaction. And MultiTeach is over 30 turnkey applications with ready-made content. And I will start by going through the different categories as well as the applications. So here I have the different categories. So we have the tools category, we have mathematics, we have creative, we also have different applications for grammar and spelling. Then we have a category for puzzles with turnkey applications with ready-made content. And then we have a science category as well, also with different applications. So this is the main user interface. And in the top right corner and in the lower left corner, you see a corner menu. And if I click on that corner menu, I see different options here. So one of the options is the green icon with zones. I will talk a little bit more about that later on. Another icon is the pink arrow, and if I click on that pink arrow, it essentially rotates the interface 180 degrees. So this is ideal for tabletop solutions in a classroom where multiple people are sitting around a table, like a teacher and the students. So I'll rotate the interface again. I click on the corner menu and hit the pink purple button with the arrow. Then there's a couple of other options. The option with the red cross closes down Snowflake, or if you are inside an application, it will close the application and go back to the main interface. There's also a music node which allows you to enable and disable the audio. The orange button is a minimize option, so you could go back to Windows, use for example a browser or another application, and simply go back to Snowflake MultiTeach. And then there's the pencil tool, which draws a annotation layer on top of any application, so you can make annotations on top of PDF files, but any kind of content really. So I can select the color here, make annotations, select a different color there. I can also erase, I can add text, I can save the annotation and email it as well. So I'll go ahead and close this annotate layer right here. So that's the main user interface with the corner menus. So as I said, we have over 30 turnkey applications, and I just want to go ahead and show a couple of them to you. So one of the applications that I want to show you is MathBugs, and you can either play that individually or together with your friends. So if I click multiply, then I can choose which table I want to play. So let's say I click on the table 2. So I click on that, and what I have to do here is click on all the bugs that are associated with the table of 2. And after I've clicked all the correct ones, I get an overview of the correct results as well as the incorrect results. And I close this application by going to the corner menu and hitting the red cross. Then I go to the next category, and I want to show you the draw application. As you can see, it is a truly multi-user, multi-touch interface, so you can interact with multiple fingers at the same time. You can change the colors, you can erase things, you can select different brushes, and again different colors. And on the left side you also have a stamp option, so here you can import images or stamps. So I click on the cloud and create clouds here. So what kids can do here is they can create a drawing and share it with their teacher or with their parents. They can email it, and they can also print it out. I'll go ahead and close this application by going to the corner menu and again hitting the red cross. And then I go to the science category, and we have an application there called geography. So if I click on geography, I'll click on countries of the world, and you see in the bottom that there's multiple rounds. So what I have to do here is drag the flags to the different countries. So as you can see, it is truly multi-user with multiple objects at the same time. So what the kids are learning here is which country is located where on the map, as well as what the flag of each country looks like. And after you have placed the objects, it indicates you which items you have placed correct and incorrectly. So then you go on to the next round. So MultiTeach supports collaboration, which is very important because learning is a social endeavor. So I'll close this application and then go back to the tools category. That's the main category that you see when you open MultiTeach. And I start the application Presenter. And Presenter is a great tool for teachers to present digital content, as well as for students to present digital content. For example, if they've been on a field trip and they have to do a show and tell in front of the class on the front of class display. So what I can do here is drag multiple objects onto the canvas. I can interact with it using zooming gestures. As you can see, it's truly multi-user, so I can interact with multiple objects at the same time. The Presenter application supports different file formats. So we support, amongst others, PDF files, but also images and videos and PowerPoint files. If you go to the corner menu, you see an option, green plus. So if I click on that, I can basically import an image or video or a PDF brochure and load it onto the Presenter application. So either I can download it from the internet or upload it from the computer. So I'm going to use internet search, and I'll use India and click on enter. And what I can do is then click on one of the images, and as you can see, it will show up in the bar on the left, and I can drag it onto the canvas, zoom in, zoom out. In this case, the picture is a little bit low resolution, but it gives you an idea of what is possible. I can then also maximize this picture by hitting the icon on the right, and then it goes into full screen. And then on the left side of that, I have an option with the 3 bars, and if I click on that, there is an annotate option. So what I can do is highlight certain areas on the map, so I can change the color, let's say green, and then I stand in front of the classroom and say, okay, Anil, what's this area called? Or Anup, what is the city in this area called? So it's a great way to present digital media, as well as to highlight certain options. So you can erase, you can remove the annotation. So I'll just go out of the annotation mode by clicking on the cross, and then I can either tap outside of the picture, or I can click on the button to make it go to the normal view again. And here you have the PDF file, for example, which you can also put into full screen mode and go to the next slide. You can also have an autoplay option, and again here you can also make annotations. We also have support for video, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, so you can just drag the content onto the screen. You see a toolbar, and you can sort essentially content in different ways, so horizontally or in a grid or in different kind of sorting methods. And on the left side you also see a arrow, and if you click on that, it basically puts all the content back into the bar. Another interesting option that I think you might like, Snowflake Remote. And Snowflake Remote is a free application that you can download from the Apple Store or from the Google Play Store, and you can connect your mobile device like a phone or a tablet to Snowflake, so you can use it as a remote to interact on your tablet. Or what you can do with Presenter is upload pictures from your mobile device to Presenter so that they show up in the bar here on the left. So again, this is kind of ideal for when kids and teachers have gone onto a field trip and they want to present a show and tell in the classroom afterwards. So I'll go ahead and close this application by hitting the corner menu and the red cross. And now I want to show you a really exciting part of Snowflake MultiTeach as well. And it's an absolutely unique feature that no other platform offers as far as we know. Snowflake MultiTeach, the zones option, provides teachers with tremendous flexibility and allows them to customize the student learning experiences. So you can access zones either through the main interface under Tools or through the corner menu by clicking on the green icon button. So I'll just close the corner menu and go through the main user interface, and I click on zones. And now I get basically an option of how I want to cut the canvas. So I can cut the canvas in different sections. So for example, 4 areas or 2. So I decide to go for 2 for this specific option. And what I can do now is run multiple applications simultaneously. And this is really where the power of MultiTeach comes into play. So what I'll do is I'll head over to MathBugs is a good one. And then on the other screen, I go to MathBugs as well. And what I can do here is let kids compete with each other. So let's say they both choose the table of 5. And now they're both supposed to click on the box that are associated with the number 5. So they can compete against each other to see who has the most correct answers, as well as who was the fastest. And I really want to reinforce this specific feature because it really highlights the capabilities of the software. Another application that you can run as well is Presenter. So I'll just close the application on the left. And then I go to Tools and then click on Presenter. If I then, in the Presenter app, go to the corner menu and hit the plus button, I can use internet search and say number 5. And I can import that picture into the toolbar that I can then accordingly drag onto the canvas. So the Presenter in this case can be used as a complementary tool to the application on the right to kind of remind the kids about the purpose of the specific task that they have at hand. Another example of how this application could be used is by the application called Squares. Let's see, it's here. If I click on that, what I can do is in the bottom where you see the green button with by 12 by 12, I can change the grid to 10 by 10. So if I click on that, what I can do is highlight all the numbers that are associated with the number 5. Again, as a complementary tool for the student to get reminded of which numbers they should be looking for when they're playing with MathBugs application. But I'll talk to you a little bit more about zones shortly. So I'll go ahead and close this application right here and also close the application on the right. And if I go now to the corner menu and hit the green button of zones, I can go back to the full screen layout by clicking on the button in the low right. Lessons is one of our most exciting applications. With Lessons, teachers and students can create their own interactive multi-teach touchscreen lessons for usage in the classroom. Kids nowadays are very easily bored, and if they have seen something once or twice before, they're interested in something new because they so easily get bored. And with Lessons, teachers can create touchscreen lessons themselves, so they always have fun, exciting, and fresh content to show their students. So I'll click on Lessons under the Tools category, And you essentially see an overview here of the different lessons that are available on your computer. So you have a scrolling list. And what I can do here on the left side is search for lessons on the list. So if I click on that, I have a virtual keyboard that pops up, but I can also use my physical keyboard and say, okay, today I want to educate kids about colors. So I type color, and then the lesson about colors shows up in the list. So there's right now two options that I have. I can either click on the green button on the right to bring it into play mode and play the lesson directly, or I can go into the edit mode by clicking on the icon on the left. So I want to click on the edit mode, and it shows me here the different lesson types that are available for this lesson. So in the top left you see a little yellow star that has indicated that this lesson has been used with this lesson type before. So I go ahead and click use this lesson type, and now I get into the edit content stage for this lesson. So on the right I have a preview of what the lesson looks like, and I have also options to customize the interface on the right, and I have content on the left. So I see, for example, I also want to add the color pink, and I'm just going to quickly show you how easy it is to add content. So I'll click on the green create content button in the top left, and I say, okay, well, I want to add the color pink, so I'll write pink, and I want to have a background with that as well. So I click on background, and I choose one of the colors right there that it imports from the internet. And then on the right side I want to associate a picture with the color pink. So I click on background there, and I think about, okay, what is pink in this world? So I click on internet search and I type flamingo. Click on flamingo and it pops up in the content stage. So what I do next is I drag that content onto the colors on the left side of the screen. And once I let go, you can see that it pops up on the right in the drop preview. And I, for example, want to change the theme because I don't really like the snowflake theme, so I can either choose a different background with colors or choose one of the existing animated themes. So I click on candy because that one looks kind of interesting, pink. And I have three options here in the lower right. So one of the options is export, so you can export this lesson to your desktop. Or what you can do as well is export this lesson to our community. Our community is essentially a space where teachers all around the world can upload their own interactive touchscreen lessons for MultiTeach. So we have hundreds of free lessons that you can download from the community. So if I hit community, I see the different options here that I can specify before I upload the lesson to the community. And if I haven't signed in before, then I get a pop-up that says please sign into the community. And since I've already logged in before, I get this overview where I can specify the age group, the subject, and the different options here. So I'll go ahead and cancel that because I want to show you the play mode. And I go into the play mode, strangely enough, by clicking play. And now you get an animation of the candy theme. And you can skip this animation as well simply by clicking on the screen. But I'll just quickly show you this animation. And what the children now have to do is they can drag the objects onto the right location. And again, as you can see, it's truly multi-user, so multiple kids can interact with it at the same time. And it indicates which colors are correct and which ones are incorrect. What I want to show you next is going to the corner menu and then hit the arrow button. So then you go back into the edit stage, and on the left side of the screen you have a navigation. So if I now go to home in the top, you also have an option on the left called import lessons. So for example, if you have gone to the community before and you have downloaded a lesson onto your desktop, you can import the lesson from there. So if you click on import lesson, you can see that I have a lesson on my desktop called Planetarium, and I can simply click on that, and it's telling me that there's already a lesson that is important called that, which is correct because I did that this morning, but I want to go ahead and import it anyway. And as you can see, it will show up in the top of the screen. And what I can do now is just click on the play button right there, and it will load the lesson directly into play mode. So the goal of this specific lesson type is to make sure that you drag the items to the correct location. Well, I think I should know this one. Yes. So I can again go to the corner menu and go back, and then what I want to show you is something under home, because I quickly want to show you how you can create your own lessons. And I do this by on the green create new lesson button, and here I see the different lesson types. So I want to make a scramble puzzle, so I click on that over here and say I want to educate the kids today about the cities in India. So I say Bangalore, Mangalore, and let's say Mumbai. So these items are now popping up on the screen on the right, and here I can change the theme, for example, to jungle, and then I go into the play mode. I want to skip the animation, so I tap on the screen. So now on the right side of the screen you see the different cities, and here you can solve the puzzle on the left side. So it's a very simple way to create a puzzle in just a matter of minutes. And what I can do here as well is run this application in zones. So if I go to the corner menu and hit the green icon with the zones, and I want to split the screen into two areas, then the scramble application can be seen on the right, and on the left side I want to launch presenter and say, okay, I'd like to put a picture of the country. In this case it's Russia, but you can also import, obviously, as I showed before, the map of India, and you can really use this as a tool to help emphasize what the kids are supposed to do. And another option that I want to show you in regards to zones is the geography application. Let's see. So I click on geography. What I can do with lessons as well, on the right side I leave this lesson, I click on back, and I say, okay, I go back to home. So I click on that icon in the top and say, okay, I want to create a new lesson. And what I want to do now is, actually, I want the lessons to be on the left side. So what I'll do is I click on the corner menu and click on the arrows in green, blue, and if I do that, I can essentially swap the zones from one side to the other. So now I have to tap on the zone that I want to switch to. So click on the left, and the lessons pop up on the left. And now I click on spinner, and spinner is a kind of wheel of fortune where you can add your own content again as well. So I want to create my own spinner and say, okay, create content, Anil, Anup, and Harry, and you can add the names of multiple students here. So okay, I want to have a background for, well, I really like superheroes. So let's say superhero, and I like this picture a lot, so I'll use that as the background. And what I'll do is I'll hit play, and then on the right side of the screen in the geography application, I click on countries of the world. And what I do now is make the interactive learning experience a little bit more fun in the classroom. So I spin the wheel, and as the kids get excited about whose turn it is to walk up to the front of class display, Anoop is selected, and Anoop can walk up to the screen and now solve the puzzle. And after this round is completed, what you can do is again select the spinning wheel and rotate it, and then Anil, you can walk up to the screen and do the next round. So it's a really kind of fun and engaging way for kids to get excited about the learning. In the corner menu of lessons on the left here, you also have an option for help. This is the question mark. And if you click on that, you have a lot of different options where you can see how you can customize the content for each lesson type. So we'll guide you exactly with that. And then there's one last thing in lessons that I want to show. If I hit the arrow button on the left and go to home, on the left side you have a list where teachers can create lists, for example, on lessons that they want to show children either on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, or they might create lists based on certain subjects. So say, for example, geography or grammar or mathematics, and you can just simply drag lessons to a certain list to make them show up there. So if I click now on Monday, you see that I have these lessons in here. And in the top of the screen, you see community lessons. And on the top left, you see that you're already signed into the community. And if you're not signed in yet, you will just get a simple login screen if you click on that. But since I've already logged in, I can just go there, and then I can search for different lessons. And I can, let's say, for example, math. So here I see the different lessons that are there available for mathematics. And I can also in the top filter by age group, the lesson type, as well as the subject and the country. So that's really powerful tool, the integration of the MultiTeach lessons community within MultiTeach. And what I think is really the beauty of lessons is that with this app you can create lessons for any subject, from grammar to geography and from biology to mathematics. And at the same time you can make it applicable for any age group. So that was pretty much what I wanted to show you in regards to Snowflake MultiTeach. I will just wrap up by showing you the MultiTeach lessons community. So if you go to MTLC, MultiTeach Lessons Community.NUITEQ.com, you can sign up for a free account and you can download hundreds of free touchscreen lessons for MultiTeach, different subjects, different age groups. So you can download them, but you can also upload your own lessons. You can edit them and share them with other teachers around the world. So that's a very good resource to have. We also have video tutorials available on how to create these lessons. So for example, you can click on the need help in the lower right, and then here you have, for example, video tutorials on the top left. If you click on that, you see the different video tutorials that we have available for Snowflake MultiTeach. So I really encourage you to check those out at your own pace. So that's in regards to the community. And then we also have a resource on Pinterest, because Pinterest is a social media platform that's very popular amongst teachers to share content and ideas and inspiration. So essentially, just to summarize, we went through the main user interface of MultiTeach, as well as the corner menu with the different options and the app categories. And I've shown you several of the turnkey applications, including MathBugs, Presenter, and also draw. And I've highlighted the multi-user collaborative capability of zones. I think that's a really powerful tool that's very important to emphasize, because it really opens up for multi-user collaborative interfaces where the kids can interact at the same time. And I showed you how easy it is to download, to create, and edit your own lessons in just a matter of minutes. And I wrapped up by showing you the MultiTeach lessons community, as well as our Pinterest account with educational resources. And something that I wanted to highlight as well in regards to the community is each month we draw a winner out of the people that upload lessons to the community, so from teachers to partners, and they compete to win a $250 Amazon gift voucher.